Good morning, everyone. I see a lot of people asking about a price list. I kind of wanted to go through this and show you guys how we built our price list, how it makes it easy for us. I don't like to get into a lot of background stories, but I feel like I kind of need to in this to explain what's going on. My name's Kenny Thomason. One of my companies is a plumbing company. Um, I I'm not involved in the day-to-day action. I now have 5 contractors licenses, and I'm director of construction of a um, GC developer here in Las Vegas. We build apartments and medical buildings and commercial buildings, and that's where my focus is. That's my real job. And then I have a family, so I don't want to come home and work on business when I get home. I started these businesses when I got laid off during the recession back in 2010. The company I was working for went from 5,500 employees to 5. Um, we were large scale, high rise union jobs. Biggest project I've been on was the Hard Rock expansion. I want to say it was like $1.6 billion, huge project. Um, but that's just kind of where we're at. Um, that's what I was doing. Got laid off during the recession, just like everybody else for the most part. And I didn't want to collect unemployment, so I started a small handyman business, turned it into a general contracting business, and then added several licenses along the way. I learned my lessons. Trust me, I've never been to business school, never anything. I was just, hey, I know I can work. Let me try to work. And I didn't understand the real cost of doing business, and I didn't understand that you should be working on your business and not in your business if you can. And I didn't understand any of that, so I've made all the mistakes, guys. It's gonna sound crazy. I'm 32 years old, but I started doing this when I was 17. So I've had time to learn and make all these mistakes. Um, so that's just a quick background story so I can explain this to you. But the reason I wanted to explain that is you'll see a lot of things in here and I'll talk to you about it, but I'm not involved in the day to day. So I need a way to look at the heartbeat of my business without really diving in. So I built this sheet, right? So one of the biggest things I think is important is that you don't get caught up in the technician mentality of, oh, the company's billing 150 an hour and the technician only makes 25, we must be making a killing. Not necessarily true. This company is a little office and overhead heavy because I knew that going into building this business. My other businesses are in a spot where they can float this business when they need to. But I wanted to build a business with a good management team that I can build really good, build a good system, and then I just needed to scale it. So that's what I've done. I have an office manager, I have an operations manager, I have a service manager. We're office overhead is heavy, but I've done it this way. We're already getting to a point where we're making money instead of paying out money. We've only been in business about 4 years, um, but that's where we're at. It's a decent spot to be in, I guess. But I just this if you see things and go, wow, he's paying a lot for overhead. That's why I wanted to build a business that doesn't need me there. I like plumbing. I think it's a recession-proof business. No, not everybody's going to have money to paint their house or remodel their house or build additions or build commercial buildings, but people will always need toilets to flush and hot water to shower in. So that's why I chose plumbing. Um, so this is where we're at. Real quick, up top is my field labor. This is what I can actually bill for. These are my guys that are actually going to job sites and doing work. So I can bill for them, right? It's hard to bill for my office manager because she's not on a job site, but that's why all this spreadsheet comes into play. So I build it out. I put my technicians' rates right here. Okay, boom, done. Get them in. Then I do all that, gives me all their taxes and garbage and stuff for Nevada, and then it gives me their total wages. Okay, I build my rates off my most expensive tech. So it'll be this guy right here. He's my most expensive tech, so be it. Okay, I do that because I don't want to send my tech to a job and have them built off of a lower tech and know I'm losing money on that job. So I build off my most expensive tech, and then if I send out one of my lower guys, guess what? I just make more money on it. No big deal. So I also I want to know what they're going to cost me a day roughly, what they're going to cost me a week, and what they're going to cost me a month, just so I have an idea. So looking at that, I go, okay, this is where my costs are going to be. And you might be a business guru. Oh, your payroll should only be this much. Look, I got a way around my business. It's worked for 10 years. It's worked on multi-billion-dollar projects, and it's worked on my small companies too. So if you got a business coach and you want to tell me I'm wrong, I really don't have time for it, to be honest with you. This is what works for me. So running through this, okay, I'm over here. If I have a job that's gonna be an 8-hour day, they're gonna get the 8-hour rate. If it's not, if it's a 1 hour job, they're going to get the 5 billable hour rate. My service rate is built for 5 billable hours because we usually can get to 5 jobs pretty easily in a day. We'll at least get 5 billable hours. Some jobs might take 2 billable hours, so they're not going to get to as many jobs, but they're going to be able to bill for as much, right? So 5 billable hours a day are what my technicians can usually get. Some do more, some do a little bit less. It's just part of the game. Some days are better than others, some days aren't. But it breaks it down here. So it takes the total cost and it breaks it up over 8 hours and breaks it up over 5 hours. Now, you see these numbers here. The reason I have that is because some of my property managements, like one of my property managers gives me about $60,000 to $70,000 a month of business. He's got 4,800 homes here in town. I'm not gonna, if he's got a 6-hour job, I'm probably not gonna get to any other jobs that day, but I can cut him a break if I need to. If the pricing's a little high, I can cut him a break even more. $15 an hour times 6 hours, you're looking $90. $90 isn't a lot, but sometimes these property managers, they got 4,800 homes. If $90 times 4,800 homes, it's a lot of money. You're 480,000, whatever the number is, it's a lot of money. Okay, so I try to help them out if I need to. Go down in my vans, right? My vehicles. So real quick, guys, try to be debt free. If you can be debt free, it's great. Now, that being said, I didn't get to start debt free. I financed my first van. It was a 2 or 3 year old van. It was a good van, still had a warranty. Don't buy a beater. I'm a huge Dave Ramsey fan, but Dave Ramsey makes $150 million a year probably, and it's okay for him to pay for everything in cash. He talks about buying beaters all the time. That's great. My personal vehicles are not brand new vehicles. I refuse to buy a brand new vehicle with my personal vehicle. But a van that's doing $30,000 a month in business, I don't want it broken down, because if it's broken down, I'm not making money. So, although I'm a huge Dave Ramsey fan and I believe in being completely debt free and am debt free, both business and personal, understand that it takes money to make money. Now, that being said, if you get into debt, in my opinion, you should be doing everything you can to get out of debt. Double up your van payment. Do whatever you can. Sacrifice, guys. If you don't like the word sacrifice, you should not be running a business. Okay? You need to sacrifice. Get it paid off as fast as possible. I'm not speaking from a book. I'm not speaking from a college course. I'm speaking from experience. Okay? That's what you need to do. So you're sitting here. I put in my van payments at $450 a month. That's what my first van payment was. It's probably not enough for a new vehicle, but I don't make payments on vehicles anymore. I pay cash for them. So every month I put 450 times 7 vans, because that's what I have. I have one backup van fully stocked. That way when my vans go in for the shop to get oil change or maintenance or whatever, we're not down a van. They're right there ready to go with a backup van. My office manager does a very good job of coordinating all that. But I put $3,150 a month into a vehicle account. Okay, that way when I need to hire a new tech, guess what? I have the cash to buy a new van. I'm not struggling trying to find out where I'm gonna get it from, and I'm not going to get myself in debt. Do not pay off your vehicles and think, oh great, now I just have more money in my pocket. No, you do not. It needs to be put away into a separate account if you plan on growing your business. Or even if you don't plan on growing your business, guess what? In probably 5 to 6 years, your van's gonna be worthless if you drive it as much as we do. We try to replace our vehicles every 5 to 6 years. We haven't even been in business that long. We're going on our 4th year now. But knowing, hey, I got a van that I bought, with 18,000 miles on it 4 years ago, and I'm already at 130, I think. The vans aren't going to last forever, guys. So you need to be ready to replace your vans too. Don't think just because you're paid off means you're done. So sorry, I went on a little rant there, but this is my van payment, my van insurance, my gas, my depreciation maintenance. I try to keep up with gas because gas is going up. This is about our average a couple weeks ago. Okay, so then I get a total vehicle expense. Per vehicle, I pay about $1,400 a month times 7 vehicles, and $9,940 is what my vans cost me. If I break it down to a full day rate, I add $9 an hour to my billable rate for my vans. If it's a service rate, it's $14 an hour. I'm not going to explain that anymore. Full day is the lower price. I bill everything 5 billable hours. Okay, get down here. I have office manager. I take a salary from the business. Office manager, service manager, lead dispatch, 2 part-time dispatch, a marketing girl. Doesn't matter. You can put whatever you want here. Okay, do as much as you need. Then you put in your bills: rent, power, emails, phones, cable, all this. Get you down to here. This gives you your total office cost. So my total office cost is, yeah, it's heavy. I get it. I don't know what to tell you. I'm sorry. So that's the way I do my business. Come down here. My break even is or sorry, my cost of doing business before I do any work is 89,000. Well, to do 89,000 in business, I need to sell. I need to figure an additional 30% of that in parts. That's about our average is 30%. Sometimes more, sometimes less, depending on what jobs we're doing that month. But that just gives me, again, not involved in the day-to-day, I can quickly check and say, okay, this is about where we need to be. So I know to break even and not lose money that month, I need to be somewhere around $127,000. I know that. I don't have to figure that out later. It just gives me an idea. Guys, there's been months where I've done 114 and made money, and months where I've done 130 and lost money. It's not science. It's a close guesstimate. My office manager does a P&L for me every single month, so I know exactly where the heartbeat of the company is. But this gives me an idea quickly looking from the outside. I can even break it down further and go, okay, my team needs to do about 30,000 a week. My guys need to do about 6,000 a piece a week. My guys need to do about $1,200 a day, and my team needs to do about $6,000 a day. Pretty simple for me. Right now we have 5 techs. Our 6th tech that you see me add up here will be here on the 15th. So I've kind of built his price in already. But this gives you your thing. If you enter all your information, you're a one-man shop. You get rid of this. Don't delete. Just hit zeros if you don't have it. If you need to add, you can add to it. But, if you only have 2 vans, put in 2 vans. It's okay. There's no judgment here. You change it to 2 vans, okay? Do what you need to do, and that'll give you the difference, okay? So, if you change it to 2 vans, you just need to make sure you change it all the way down so it can change the prices. I'll give you that example right here. Okay, see, that changed all the prices for me. Okay, that's what you need to do. But just whatever it is. If your office manager makes less, put it in. If your office manager makes more, put it in. If you pay yourself more, put it in. If you pay yourself less, put it in. All this is built for you guys, all ready to go. If your rent's more, put it in. If your rent's less, put it in. If you don't have rent because you work out of your house, hit a 0. It changes everything for you guys. Okay, builds it all in. Okay, watch this. Right now, I'll give you an example. For my office cost, I'm adding $90.72 an hour to my billable rate, okay? But if I didn't have to pay rent, look what just happened. Now it's $87.58, okay? It's all built in for you. Formulas are already there. You just zero out these columns where you need to, okay? Bam, get you what you need to do. You're here. So that's how I built my hourly rate. Guys, this is the most important page in my opinion. But as you know, part prices are all over the place. Some things are going up a lot, some things aren't going up, so very rarely are a few things going down. But I go into here, my service manager once a week, might seem like a lot to you, gets a quote from our supplier. We typically buy from a company here called Van Mark, sometimes Ferguson. It would probably go Van Mark, Ferguson. Very rare do I let my guys go to Lowe's or Home Depot, but if we're buying toilets, they seem to have the best price for name brand toilets and stuff there because they buy in so much bulk. But if it's a property manager and it's a low rate toilet, I'm going to go to Ferguson's and get some ProFlows, or Van Mark has a knockoff too. I don't know what the name of it is, but anyways, this is my part pricing. Every week my service manager goes through here. He gets a new quote from our I always say dispatcher, from our supply house, and he enters it in here real quick on a 10 key. He could probably do this in 5-10 minutes, right? I'm on my laptop right now, so I can't just run through it real quick, but on a 10 key keyboard, no doubt. What I've done is, because like if you go here, everything, not everything, but most of the stuff we're using every day is in here. Bathroom stuff, toilet stuff, or toilets, toilet stuff, disposals, fittings. So for example, like right here, I do 1/2 inch 90/45 coupling slip, whatever. If they make it in that, I have the price in here. So he can 10 key down here and then shift over, 10 key and then shift over, 10 key. Down here, guys, at the very bottom, I've put all that in order for you. So if you just copy this entire spot right here, all the way to the bottom, paste it on a Word Excel, you can send that directly to your supply house and they can put it all in this order. And then you get your quotes back already in order. You don't have to go through here and look over each line item. You can literally print it out, put it in your left hand, look at it, type into a 10 key, enter 10 key, all the way down till you get done. When you get to here, don't worry about this because this is different pricing. When you get here, you 10 key down to the bottom, go back up over here, 10 key down. I like to put an X in parts. I haven't done it on this one, but I'll put an X in there if they don't make it. That way I don't feel like I miss a price or I don't accidentally add a price there that didn't belong there. Once I've done that, that is automatically updated to my part combo pricing. So a fill valve and flapper. On my line item, I don't want to put in 904 manually, right? Because when that changes here, that means I'd have to go change everything manually. So I build part combos. fill valve and flapper, toilet install, new supply kit, so wax ring and angle stop supply line. I don't enter this manually, guys. I put it part pricing. I hit equals up in here, and I tie it to the part on this side on all of this stuff. I have all these different things I've built, whether it be a reroute, whether it be 2 angle stops and supply lines, whether it be 1/2-inch gas line and 36-inch flex, or 36-inch flex with a gas valve, water heaters, the heater, 2 ProPress MIPs, 1 ProPress ball valve, 2 supply lines, pipe insulation, pan, PVC pipe to build the drain for the pan, 90s, sediment trap, earthquake straps, permit. It's all built in here, guys. None of this is manually entered. It goes straight to my part pricing. The reason I do that is, once you've seen this, right, you guys have all seen this part, you can come over to my pricing. Here's my pricing, guys. It's all tied directly. Here's my material cost over here. None of it's entered manually. That's also tied in over there. So once my service manager goes in weekly and changes the part pricing, it'll change this page, which will then change this page. Some of the material cost is one thing, so it's tied to a part price page. Like, let me see if I can find part pricing. It's tied directly just to a part price, because toilet tank rebuild, that's what the price is for the kit. But like a toilet, it's the part price plus the combo to install a new toilet. So it's all built in right here. So as soon as he changes part pricing, guess what? This whole material cost changes. Once the material cost changes, it changes what my break even is. I'll explain how I get to my break even. Material cost plus my taxes is my total material cost. If it's a reroute, we hire landscapers to dig. We don't do it ourselves. We have subcontractor expense. How long it should take, my guys, off of data we've done and what I believe is true, and we've proven it time and time again. Of course, plumbing is one of those things. You get there sometimes. That takes way longer than you expected. What your labor rate is, what your total labor cost is, what your total cost is. Your total cost would be your labor cost plus your material cost. And if you had any subcontractor cost, right? And then credit card fees. Guys, build your credit card fees into your prices. If you have to tell a customer you charge more to use a credit card, it's a turnoff, in my opinion. Build it in. You get somebody who wants to pay cash. Ask them for, if they ask for a discount, hey, look, I give a 3.5% discount. I don't hide money. I'm going to pay taxes on it, so it does me no good to give you this huge discount. The only discount I give you is the 3.5% credit card fee that I bill into my process if you want to pay with cash or check. But that's how we do it. And 3.5% on most jobs, $20 here, whatever. It's really not a lot, but you get down to the $7,000 jobs. That stuff adds up, right? So somebody wants to pay cash and save 3.5% on $7,000, let them do it. But build that into your price, guys. Don't be the people that are like, oh, I charge more for that. Some states it's actually illegal to do that. In Nevada, it's illegal if you charge more than 5%. But our rates are around 3.5%, so I just bill it in. I think it's a little less, but so then it gets me to my break-even number, right? Then this is what I have in-house called Pro. So if I figure out profit margins, everything, I try to be between 20 and 40%. There are some things that are just not going to be that way. Okay, I get it. I understand. I'll give you a quick example. Bathroom faucet rebuild, standard Moen or Delta. That's a cartridge, guys. I charge $278 for a cartridge. Some of you are probably going, what? $278 for a cartridge? That's crazy. There's people in Vegas charging $578. There's people charging $78. It's all over the map. This is what my business cost is. I don't worry about what other people's are. I'm not competing against anybody but myself, guys. There's no reason for me to drop my prices and put myself out of business. There are customers that are willing to pay what I charge. It's a fair rate. I'm not ripping anybody off. I don't charge $78 and then go in there and say, oh, but you need to change a shower valve when you don't really need to. My prices are fair across the board, but I don't feel comfortable. To get 30% margins, I'd have to charge $352. We would change it to $358 because we just like to see 8s at the end of everything. We round everything to the nearest 8. Going up, obviously. You don't want to go down. There's no reason to go down in business. If you don't get the job, you don't get it. But so I don't feel comfortable charging more than $278. So that's an 11% profit margin. I'm not extremely happy about it. It's nothing I'm going to write home about. But I have it for an hour. It's probably only going to take my guy 20 minutes. But what I'm hoping is that turns into a lifetime customer. It turns into a 5-star review. It turns into something else. Okay. So my profit rate, I'm trying to get my profit percentage, the 20 to 40%. Some stuff it works, some stuff it doesn't. But What my office manager does after my service manager puts all the part pricing in, she comes over here, and if any of those part prices changes, it changes this break even number because it's going to change my material cost. My office manager will quickly scroll through down here and go, okay, is there anything really low? Anything really low? Anything? Oh, this is 18%. What is this? Okay, it's a water heater switch out on a warranty. You know, $798 for that. I don't feel much more comfortable charging more than that. You know, so she'll look through all this, and if anything's low and she's not comfortable, she'll send me a message and say, hey, take a look at these few prices. I don't feel like we can go more, but if you want me to, so our margins are good, let me know. So we'll just run through it. We're pretty comfortable with where we're at with these prices. We did just raise our water softener prices since this video, so you don't see that here because our water softeners are they're up like almost 60%. It's crazy. So we raised those prices. You know, it is what it is. It's cost doing business, guys. You can't be the guy that's like, oh, I don't want to raise my prices on my customer if I don't have to. Yeah, if you don't have to, great. But if your prices of material go up, you cannot just eat it. It's not something you absorb. If price of gas goes up, guess what, guys? You need to raise your prices. It's simple business practice. You cannot. Business is expensive. So all this is built right here for you guys. You guys can use it if you'd like. I have a House Call Pro page in here. This will really just give you like what, I don't know if this is the exact formula they want, so I wouldn't recommend, I would talk to your House Call Pro specialist first before you just upload this once you build your page. But I put it on here because I really like the way we built this out. Like this is a water heater, it says replace, you can't see the top, but something about replace the water heater in your house with a new water heater. Our professionals use only well-respected professional brands such as Ruud, Bradford, White, and Rheem to ensure you get many years of trouble-free operations. All of our heater packages include the required permit to pass inspection. All heaters must have earthquake straps and sediment traps and insulated supply lines. So it'll say what the owner is supposed to supply, what the contractor is supposed to supply, any warranties, and any exclusions will be in here on most of our stuff. Some of our stuff's basic, like install an owner-supplied faucet. That's all it's going to say. Just says existing holes and connections need to be there. You know, some of the stuff's really simple. Some of it, I like the wording we used. We probably could go through and update some of it, but for the most part, it's there for you. That's why I put that in here. Now, if this is how you're going to do it and you're going to update this all the time, you guys could go in here. My office staff does it every week, so there's not a lot of changes that makes. I literally had my office girl update the price sheet a couple days ago, our actual one that I'm not sharing on here. This is just a shareable one. You could get to the point where instead of typing this in manually, you could hit equal and put it over to the pricing page of C47. So a 40-gallon gas, it's already set up that way. So let me show you an example one that's not. For example, let's just go right here. Let's go to the top of bathroom plumbing. I'll just pick a spot, it doesn't matter. So a bathroom cartridge right here, I have it as 278. Instead of entering that manually, I could hit equal, go to my pricing, and click the spot right there. And then whenever I make adjustments to that, that would adjust for me. I wouldn't have to see it's tied into that. I wouldn't have to do that all the time. So if you get this to where that is the way House Call Pro likes it, and you want to just send it over and let them update it for you, you could obviously go through and tie all these formulas together. I don't do that. I just go through, my girl goes through here, she looks at anything under the 20% she doesn't like. If she'll go from top to bottom. If she changes the price here, she'll click on it, she'll highlight it in a color, whatever color she decides. And then she'll go back to the top, go over to House Call Pro real quick, go into House Call Pro, click on each one of these line items, make the changes manually. We probably change 5 to 10 prices every time we change our price book. It doesn't take long to do that, guys. So anyways, sorry it's a really long video, but I just kind of wanted to show you guys how I use this, why I use it, what I do it for, give you a little bit of background on the reasons I built this and how I check on my business even though I'm not there every day, and have a idea of what the heartbeat of my business needs to be. If you guys have any questions, I'll do my best to answer it. I'm a busy person, obviously, but send them over. I'll do my best to answer it. I'm not on there a lot. I have a 5-minute limit on my Facebook page, so if you want to get to me direct, you probably should message me. I try not to waste too much time on social media. I think if some people would work as hard as they spend on social media, they'd be in a lot better spot, but I don't want to take digs at anybody. So um, if this works for you guys, great. If it doesn't, so be it. If you're just a troll and you have something nasty to say, save it. I don't really care. This has worked well for me. I've done pretty well. Um, if you think you really have a better system, or you see something I'm doing wrong, or I could be faster by doing, if you know Excel better than I do, I'm not. I didn't go to college for any of this. I just learned through the experience, through the trades, and the hard way. One thing for sure is I was a worker and I thought I could own a business, and it took me several years to realize I didn't know what the hell I was doing in business. And so I've just learned and learned and learned as I go. Um, I can tax returns have shown the last few years. I feel like I've figured it out, but yeah, the first few years, man, it was rough. So, anyways, again, guys, if you got anything, please let me know. I'm happy to help if I can. Um, this is the price list that I built. This is how I update my prices often, because pricing is changing so much on our parts. Heaters have gone up $100 in the last few months. Softeners have gone up 60%. So it helps me build this sheet, and I don't have to constantly come over here and enter manually down my material cost. I have it all built. If it's got combos, if it takes multiple parts to put it in, I built a part combo spot for it. If it's a single part, it's there. But all I have to do is update this. This also helps because, let me give you this quick example. I'm sorry. If you go up here to my labor cost, right now our billable rate is $175.71, right? Let's say for whatever reason I decided, okay, I'm going to take myself off payroll for a couple months and just give the business a chance to catch up a little bit. And if we're having some slow times, okay, take myself off payroll, that's okay, whatever. Takes it down to zero, but that changes my hourly rate, right? Because that's an office expense I'm not doing. So now instead of 175 or 160, but instead of having to enter that manually, guess what? It's tied in over here. So all my labor rates now are the price over there. So you're not constantly have to change everything manually. You change your hourly rate page and your part pricing page, and you are done. You're not messing with it anymore. It's over. It's done for you. Okay? So again, sorry for the long video. I hope some of you watch this. It is long-winded, but I feel like this can help a lot of people tremendously. You guys have a great day. Thanks.